In this video, we will see why the prices of petrol and diesel have increased, what is the reason behind it, and what will be its possible implications. If you have noticed, petrol and diesel prices went up every day since 7th June. For example, in the city of Delhi, the price of petrol was hiked by 9 rupees 12 paise per litre between 7th June and 26th June, while that of diesel has gone up by 11 rupees and 01 paise per litre. The same is the case with other cities too. If you remember back in April, the price of American WTI crude oil went negative. I think it went around some negative $37.63 per barrel. India does not import the American WTI oil. It imports primarily from OPEC countries and Brent crude, which is extracted from the North Sea. The prices of Brent crude oil and OPEC crude oil is expensive compared to American WTI, but even their prices went down comparatively in the month of April. It was somewhere around $16 to $20 per barrel. I have a video on it in case you want to watch it. The link is there in the description. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that in the month of April and May, the prices of oil around the world was comparatively lower because of the lockdown. All kinds of economic activities were shut due to lockdown, and the demand for oil had gone massively down. And now when everything seems to be opening up slowly, the price of oil has risen. Basically, the price has doubled in a period of around 2 months in the international market. Up to 6th June, I think the petrol and diesel prices were not increased. Only after 7th June, the prices were revised frequently. Anyhow, let's just try to get into the reason. See, one thing that you have to understand is that the increase in fuel prices is actually because of the changes of the taxes that is applied on it. By change, I mean increase or decreasing of taxes. Both central as well as state government levies tax on per litre sale of petrol and diesel. The central government tax is called excise duty, and the state government does it in the name of value added tax and cess charges. If you notice, almost half of the fuel prices is made up of taxes. The revenue earned from taxing petrol and diesel is used by the central as well as the state government to balance its tight fiscal situation. Anyhow, if you look at the reason behind increase of oil prices, anyone can say that now that everything is opening up, the economy is restarting. People are going out in the street. And perhaps we can say that this pandemic has forced the government to increase the excise duty on petrol and diesel to recover the losses incurred during 82 days lockdown. But on the other hand, you also have to consider the fact that when oil prices in the international market was actually low, for example in the month of April, that is in the beginning of lockdown, even at that time the central government did not reduce the fuel prices. Basically, it captured the benefits of low oil prices without passing on the benefit to the consumer. In other words, the government is always short of money. In order to take advantage of the cheap raw material, the government always tries to collect more taxes from fuel, which can be used to offset other losses. So it doesn't matter if the international oil price is low or high. I mean, if it is high, then there is an obvious reason to increase the prices. But due to some reason, if the prices are low, it's up to the government to reduce the price, and most of the time the government will not pass on the benefit to the consumer because it is always short of money and there is always some kind of losses around. So to offset their own losses, the benefit of low oil prices will never be passed on to the consumer. After all, any kind of government loss is a public debt because we the citizen choose the government. And always remember this point, if there are losses, it will be socialized and distributed among the public. And if at all there is profit, that will be privatized or reinvested to earn more profit. Now, increase in fuel prices at this time is likely going to result in inflation because logistics and transportation costs related to essential items, in fact all items, will increase. This is certainly going to affect the common man's pocket because any logistics and transportation cost is also added in the price of commodity. Now, due to this pandemic, the economy has taken a big hit. It has caused businesses to shut down, causing many people to lose their jobs, while many others are facing pay cuts. And with more people using personal vehicles to maintain social distancing, heavy fuel prices are definitely going to pinch a lot to common people.